Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are just after the closing bell on Monday, November 15th. We're going to take a look at SoFi. So SoFi here on the daily chart, continuing to kind of build itself a base is what it looks like it wants to do to me. Obviously, it had this big drawdown the day before earnings and this big run up the day after. But if we kind of, take out the extreme high and the extreme low and look at the range that it's building here, it's kind of situating itself. I won't leave this on the chart because it's already cluttered enough, but it's basically building itself a bit of a range here between this like 21.87 and this 23.71. So it's about a $2 range that it's kind of batting itself around there. And to me, from a chart perspective, it's looking like it kind of just wants to do that, build itself a base and prepare for its next move. Now, whether or not that next move would be strong to the upside or the downside is in question. But short of a catalyst, of which there could be plenty, to be honest. There could be the bank charter. There could be any number of analyst ratings that either come out with upgraded price targets or initiating coverage. So the degree to which any of those catalysts come through, there could just be strong reactions to those. Again, as we know, catalysts can feed either direction. But short of that, I would expect from a trend perspective to have it just sort of continue to build itself a base and prepare for its next big move. Now, it is going to intersect here in at least, like at the most, toward the end of this week, like Thursday-ish, with this uptrend support that it has been holding since back here on October 8th. Reconfirmed on October 27th and 28th, fell through when it had that big sell-off, but then quickly shot itself back up and over. So it's kind of in question whether or not that still wants to remain in play or not. So I guess we'll see when we get there, short of anything sort of forcing a strong move with SoFi in one direction or the other. Now today on the intraday, kind of a boring / slightly bearish day for a green day. I mean, it was just running up so solidly here, right? In the pre-market, it was holding pretty strong and then had a big jump, but it just had this very clear double top, right? Just topped out. And when that selling pressure hit for the second time around, it tried to catch again at this 23.71, right? The support level that we had charted, flipped it to resistance, started to move away, and then confirmed resistance really strongly here, and then sold off down to the next support level. So it's doing the things that we'd like to see it doing from a technical perspective, of continuing to work its way through and back and forth between these supply and demand zones that we have charted, and continue to sort of consume selling pressure in those places and expand on the demand at the levels of support. So we'll see the degree to which that continues to hold up, but those were really playing a much stronger role today than even the VWAP, to be honest. So today's a day where it was good to have these on the chart in order to see where it was going. We did get some pretty obvious rejections here off the VWAP, but other than that, to me, it was much cleaner to just watch the 23.71 and the 22.89. But yeah, to my mind, sorry for all the throat clearing. It's got to be obnoxious, but in the larger sense, we're still sort of forming this outer cup here, if it wants to make this move, and we have seen a little bit of a handle put in here since we had that 12.5% up day, and so we'll see if it wants to continue to follow this uptrend support, and if it does, then as we zoom out down the road and can look back and see what happened, it may very well look like it was putting in a secondary cup and handle and then sort of taking off. But like I said, I'm a little bit more of the mind that it very much might want to range bound itself for a little while and then make a move out of there, because also the volume is staying pretty steady, but is also pretty mixed. So it'd be interesting to see a bit of what happens. I mean, the big buy volume is certainly coming in heavier. But that's where I think, short of a catalyst, I don't necessarily think that there would be a trend or a chart initiation point for that to ignite really strongly in a direction. All right, so coming over to some data. So I know this is a little bit different, but this is on unusual whales. This is a bit of what the flow looked like today, or in recent days, I guess, because this is back on November 12th, you see here. But coming in, this was today, pretty bullish, right? These are all bullish buys, except for the top one here. And these are all premiums over 50K. These are pretty big orders, at least I would consider them to be. And so, pretty solid, and these are all weeklies except for a couple, right? You have the 26th here and here, and then you have December 10th there. But even then, that's selling a $25 call. So to me, I don't know that that's, super bearish. But them certainly making a bet that SoFi will be less than $25 in a few weeks. But $25 has been the long-standing challenge point, right? You have 24.98 resistance level right here that's tracks back several months, as you know by now. So that's what that looks like on the flow. From their intraday analysis, interesting to see again how bullish the most active chains are. Certainly really strong on the call side of things. The biggest trades that came in today, situated here. This is a bit more mixed, obviously, right? You have some premiums here pretty solidly in the 100Ks across the board, and selling some calls, but these are also further expiries. The reason I believe this isn't coming up here is because I have it set to 45-day range. So I want to see just over the next month and a half, what are people buying or selling on the options chain. This one shows you just the largest trades, even if they're further out. So there's a hot action today on April 14th, 2022. That's where all the biggest moves came. And it looks like pretty mixed here. Looks like we have 5 bullish trades and 5 bearish trades. So pretty solidly even there. And then dark pool activity, we've seen a bunch rolling up to some of these bumps that we've had recently. Not much happening today, but we'll keep an eye on it and see what ticks in there as we go. The latest news side of things, getting some good press here. This was actually from several days ago, but just sort of pointing out that the loss shrinks as membership nearly doubles. I've been a big proponent of the membership continuing to tick up strongly, as you may have heard me complain about. And on the price target side of things, this is from Friday, but Jefferies adjusts price target in SoFi Technologies from to 26 from 24, so up $2, reiterates buy rating. So that would get us over that sort of fabled $25 range that we've been seemingly fighting forever. Now, Ortex side of things is looking like so. We'll check in on the data for the shorts, minus 2.08% today, so drawing back a little bit. So shorts still just really kind of staying out of this from my perspective. 6.88% of the free float being shorted, and utilization 17.68, cost to borrow 0.88, and days to cover 1.51. And I'm only reading this aloud, not because I don't think you can just read it on the screen, but I have a surprising number of folks who tell me that they listen to these and don't always watch. Like maybe they're driving or something, and so if I don't call out prices and stuff like that, it can be hard. But whatever, I'll try to when I remember. As I've mentioned previously, working on the Patreon side of things, I treated my Twitter today as though it was a Patreon feed, so you can go check that out to sort of see what you could expect from the Patreon feed when I get that up and running in a few weeks. And again, big thanks to anyone who's tossed a few bones my way. I put my Venmo in the description below, so if you have enjoyed any of these videos and you'd like to contribute to just sort of support the channel, I would certainly not refuse it, but of course if you can't, I put these videos out for free, and don't expect anyone to feel obligated to pay, of course, or to donate, I guess I should say. But of course, if you do want to share them, that still goes a long way and doesn't, I guess, cost you anything. So stock twits, Reddit, Twitter, what have you, anywhere else that you share or talk stock information. All right, folks, I hope your week got off to a good start. And if you didn't catch my swing trade video that I put out earlier today, maybe take a look at that, see if there's any tickers there that you'd want to dig into further and see if there might be an interesting play there as you see it. But that's the only other thing sort of cooking at the moment. We'll have a Palantir video out tonight as well, since it's Monday. All right, folks. As always, I hope that you have a good trading week ahead, and I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video.